Hello everybody and welcome to our math group project 3. This is by Fong Xuan.
I'm Teng.
Soh Yan Teng.
I'm Horward Wong. I'm Xiong Yuan.
7 Courage. The first subtopic is points, lines, and angles. Point is a point is shown on the paper using a dot or a cross. Most often you would use the word point to talk about where two lines meet. A line is a straight figure that extends to infinity in both directions. Lines are named using starting point and end points letters. You could see the example here. Angles. When two lines meet at a point, they form an angle. The meeting point is called the vertex of the angle, and the two lines are called the arms of the angle. Angles are named using 3 letters: the letter at the end of one arm, the letter at the vertex, and the letter at the end of the other arm. The letter in the middle of an angle name always indicates the vertex. Here are some types of angles. Acute angle. They are less than 90 degrees. Right angle, exact 90 degrees. Obtuse angles, greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. Straight angle, exact 180 degrees. Reflex angle, greater than 180 degrees. And full rotation, 360 degrees.
Now I'm going to talk about parallel lines, perpendicular lines, and related angle lines. Parallel lines is lines that are at equal distance from each other and never meet. Perpendicular lines is two lines that meet or intersect each other at right angles. Related angle lines are two angles are related if they satisfy certain standards.
Okay, now is the 10.3 congruent figures. If two figures can be placed precisely over each other, they are said to be congruent figures. If you place one slice of bread over the other, you will find that both the slices are of equal shape and size. The term congruent means exactly equal shape and the size. Okay, this is the example of congruent figures. Line symmetry. A line of symmetry is the line that divides a shape or an object into two equal and symmetrical parts. We also call this line the axis of symmetry or mirror line because it divides the figure symmetrical and the divided part look like mirror reflection of each other. For example, line of symmetry. Square have 4 lines of symmetry, and rectangle have 2 lines of symmetry. Rhombus have 2 lines of symmetry, same like rectangle. Line symmetry of circle. A circle has an infinite number of lines of symmetry since any straight line passing through the center of the circle will be a line of symmetry.
10.5 Rotational Symmetry. Rotational symmetry, also known as radial symmetry in geometry, is the property of a shape has when it looks the same after some rotational by a partial turn. An object's degree of rotational symmetry is the number of distinct orientations in which it looks exactly the same for each rotation. So here are some examples of rotational symmetry. So how to find how many rotational symmetry are there? To find the degree of rotational mathematically, divide 360 by the number of times the pattern repeats.
Polygons and circles. Polygons are figures made up of line segments connected to form a closed polygonal chain. Circles are shapes that consist of 2 points in a two-dimensional surface equidistant from a given point. Here is a graph that shows the polygons, the size and vertex, numbers of angles, size of interior angles, number of lines of symmetry, order of rotational symmetry, and number of diagonals.
So the last subtopic is 3D shapes, plans, and elevations. Plans and elevations are a way of representing a three-dimensional shape on paper. We have three views of the 3D shape. From the front of the shape called the front elevation, from the side of the shape called side elevation, and from above looking down on the shape called the plan view. That is all for us. Thank you very much.